Good evening, all of you. Mr. Kumaran, how are you? I am fine. Good evening, Shayan. Shayan, I am always confusing you, Shayan, but you please respond in the same way, okay? Shweta, how are you? From Kamak Street, Vaibhav. Sunny Kumar, how are you, Sunny? All from all locations, Sugyani, Zube Sumran, Akshay, Aishwarya, Shweta, Vaibhav, Dipanshu, Shian, Jayanagar Center, Sauhad Sheth. Did you attend previous classes? Verma Akriti. Can I know from Jayanagar Center? All of you, good evening once again. Okay. Is any new student today? Can I know from all of you? Any new student today? Is my question. Good evening all of you once again. Right? So till where we have completed in the last class? Can I know from all of you? We will start. Yes, Shweta, you are correct, Shweta. But I am not saying the word from where I should start. Okay? I am expecting others will respond with the answer. I want to know from others also. You are correct, Shweta. Others, please respond from where I should start today. So, Shian. Okay, no problem, Shian. Sunny, that was completed, Sunny. I should start from functions. Okay. I should start from functions. That is the topic we should continue. Okay. So, I explained 2 points with you all in the last class. That is the agenda of working with procedures and functions. This is the last chapter of the kit 1. Okay. So I mentioned in the last class the same point. Kit 1, that is PLSQL fundamentals. Okay. Fine. So I request you all to consider the points whatever I shared with you all. So functions is the one we are supposed to discuss as part of today's session objectives. Okay. So when you are moving with functions, the concept of function and the function working system I want to share. As we have identified in the last class, I explained the concept of functions with the complete diagram of how a function, how a procedure works. Okay. Now for the same we shall discuss. I want to explain certain things with you all so that we can move forward for understanding the role of the function. And you can go through the complete content even from courseware, and I want to share a small example to you all. One minute, please. So I'm connecting to our ISQL Startplex environment. customer table data I'm taking from the database. Right? You can see the customer table data. Fine. Here, the customer table may get updated every time whenever a new record is inserted. Okay. So I want to create a function to count the total number of students. Okay. But the difference between procedure and function as a basic point we shall see. Function returns data as value. So procedure performs the execution, but function returns a value. Point taken. So how a function returns a value, syntactically we shall see how a function syntax can be created, so that we can move forward for working with a function. So create or replace function. If you consider the syntax, create keyword to create a function, or if the existing function if you want to modify, or replace function, then function name. So this is the common create a procedure or create or replace a procedure, same like a function. But here you can define certain arguments to the function here. So that is the argument type. If required, you can pass argument to the function. But here, if you look into this function, return a data type as a value. That is the one you need to understand. Remaining things is or as you can use as the specification about the function body. Remaining things are very simple to analyze. Okay. Function returns the value back to us. So that thing we shall see with a small example. So that is the table I am using, the customer's table, for working with the function here as the general example, first example. Then we will move for advanced in PLSQL. Fine. So create or replace function I want to create. Create or replace function. So I want to count total number of customers using a function. So this you can do as generally using a count function, but actually I want to use it as a reusable code for every time to make this function to work. Fine. So total customers is the one, QOT, CUST. Total customers is my function name. Total customers is my function name. So it has to return a value. So I'm expecting it should return a value as its result. So that return a data type value, number data type. So data type number. So you can write it as a specification. I'm writing number of two values is I'm using as a keyword. Is the keyword I'm using. So I want to initialize the variable. Return number is, so number of, I want to make this actually it returns a number data type value, and I want to declare a variable as total is number data type of two like a positions of the number. For this I want to initialize a value 0. So this is the variable declared, and what data type value the function returns, a number data type value function returns. So variable I declared as this is the variable where the value is initialized with 0. Fine. So in this I want to write the body of the function begin and the body of the function end. So begin and end are the keywords where the function body starts and ends. Fine. Generally, how do you use this? Select count of, I want to use the star. Fine. From customers table. So when I execute this, it retrieves the number of records existing in this particular table. So the number of records in the sense the number of rows of the table. So I executed. 1 minute. Page is not loading properly. 1 minute. So total number of rows are 10. So it is showing 10 number of rows. So this one I want to do in a different way. count star, I want to use the same query statement. I'm using here count star into my variable, okay, into my variable total. So I'm taking this value into my total variable. From where? From my customers table. Point taken from my customers table. So what, once if it is counted the value total, it has to return the value total. So return total. So that's the way I handle it. Point taken. All of you please analyze this, what I have done. But to take the value from this, we have to use a different way of calling. Yes, Shian and those who have joined late, I request you all to analyze this. Expecting response from all of you. So only function creation I explained. Fine. So how do you call it? I want to minimize this statement to take the place to be useful for other things. So I am writing a part here. This is a create function calling a function. Calling function statement I am writing. Who sent a message? The message was dropped. Could you please send it once again? Can I know from all of you? In case if you have any question, you can ask me. At the end, you should say everything is clear. Reason? I am asking you all every minute. If you have a question, you can ask me immediately. You should not leave the session with a doubt. Right? All of you, please respond. So, calling function statement I want to write here. Shayan. Yes, Shayan. Could you please show the example in the environment? I will go back. Shayan, wait 2 seconds. I will explain in the environment. Environment is there in front of you. I am explaining in a cycle. So as a program in a simple steps, if I explain, it doesn't give clear idea to you. Both I will explain at a time. So the function would be created. The function name is total customer. This function I want to take. Okay. So how I can take the function here? So again I need a variable to store the value. I am declaring a variable here. Count is the variable. So count is a function. I will use a variable as C is a number data type of 2 elements length as 2 positions. Fine. So that variable I declare. Fine. So then I want to write the statements like begin and end. In between, I want to write the statements of the function calling system. C is my variable. Variable is going to be initialized with return value of the function. What function? Return number. What is my function name? Total customer. So total cost is my function name. I am taking that function. C equal to total cost of this way you can call the function. So what specification I have provided? I am calling this using this. Okay, this is the specification of calling a function. Then when the function is being called, when it is written a value as a number, which is been written as the total of the values of the count, that would be stored into the variable C. Now I want to display the value, whatever have been stored into the variable C. Okay, so I want to write dbms underscore output package I want to use dot put underscore line method I am going to use to display the total number of customers. Okay, put underscore line. So I want to write total number of customers. Fine. So this I want to concatenate. I want to concatenate the value of the variable also. So concatenate the value of variable. So this is a statement. Right. So then the end also should be closed. So here set server output on. So everything I don't show like this, but one function is very important, so that I have written in a complete program wise. But some of the examples which I have made ready, I will explain. So I created executing So function created. You can see the result page showing function created. Okay, the function got created. Now I want to call the function. So this is the one. Select server output on. I'm calling the function. So total number of customers are 10. Function return a value. Can I know from all of you? Is it clear to you all? Sean, you asked me the same. I hope you understood. Yes. All have responded as very clear because the speed of your response makes it. Okay. So the textbook wise, if you follow anything as a part of this, I request you all to go through the textbook example so that it makes you very clear. Right? Can you all do that practical textbook wise? Yes, that's the spirit you should have. Okay. Right. So anyhow, I will give a MR support to you all. For you all, MR support I will give. I will give a recap of certain topics based on your queries as a cloud consultation, not in our regular class. Okay. So this is the last session. So we will go forward for the new topics from, see again number 1, that is level 2. What is level 2? Can I know from all of you? Kit 2, very good, Shayan. So I said yesterday the procedures which we have discussed, the procedures as just funda we discussed, but we'll discuss more about the procedures in the topic. Did you all remember? So that's the one we are going to have a discussion now. Right? Fine. So now it's a very big concept of all category of the procedures we discussed. This is the main objective. And some of these things in the procedures we are very clear. Okay. So we have certain objects to reach by end of this session. So identify the benefits of modularized and layered subprogram design. Modularized and layered subprogram design. We'll discuss what is the modularized and layered subprogram. Okay. That is the one as the first topic. Then create and call procedures. Use formal and actual parameters, function stakes parameters, procedure stakes parameters. Use positional, named or mixed notation for passing parameters. Available parameter passing modes, exceptions in procedure, removing the procedure, display procedure information using Oracle system tables. So these are the different objectives we should reach by end of the session. Okay, but I hope we can do maximum in this session for today's objectives. Okay. So agenda, when you take the first one using a modularized layered subprogram design and identify the benefit of a subprogram. Fine. What is actually the modularized is in the sense you can make it as a separate module of the code block so that you can see what is the modularized subprogram. Modularized code in the sense actually based on your requirement you will divide the code into number of logical parts. That is called as modular approach. So I want to explain that modularized programming is you divide the application code, you divide that program code into number of logical parts. So you can give the responsibility for each and every block as you require in your application. So as part of this, locate code sequences repeat more than once because if there is any requirement, you will call that particular part of the code. Create subprograms containing the repeat code. So now if you consider that here, this application, I will make it clear with my own diagram so that easily you can understand. Okay. So this is my application. You can consider the application whatever I have drawn here. This is the block. So this is my application, where this application needs a module where the module can work with a specific repetitive process. So this module is module 1. I want to make it as a separate block structure, and I want to create the similar module as a separate module here. So 2 modules, and I have 1 more module here. So module 1, module 2 and module 3. Fine. So now here these modules are the separate code blocks, where it can be a procedure, where it can be a function, or it can be something like a package. Okay. Now we haven't discussed about the package, but I am explaining what is a modularity. So now here this application can take this particular one as to be inserted as a code block. So the plugin is possible here, as this can be plugged into this module. Okay. So that is the example given here in your textbook. So this module can be plugged into this application, and this module can be plugged into this application. So that also you can see here. So that is the modularity. Fine. So the plugin, in the sense, your application doesn't need to have its code as inbuilt code. Okay. The original code of the application is not been designed. It has begin at the part and it has end at the part. But in between that, it calls a procedure called PRC1, and it calls PRC2. PRC in the sense procedure 2. Point taken. Are you all clear what is modularity? Expecting response from all of you. If not so clear, I can give much more examples to you all. I hope you all can easily analyze it. If you find anything difficulty, not clear, Shweta. Shweta is very simple, Shweta. When you go to a departmental store, the departmental store software application works with discrete functionality. Okay. So main objective of the departmental store application is the bill process, where the bill process starts, begin, end. Okay. This approach, you may have a module called discount module. Okay. This module is discount module. Discount, when you are eligible, then only the discount module can be used by the application. This module is tax module. When you are supposed to take the payment of the tax, then only that module will be called. And this module is the customer data module. This module will be taken only when it needs the customer data to be entered into the table. So, customer data. This module is actually accounts module. So, where all account related information will be stored and captured. Okay. This module is completely related to the print services. So this module is print process services. Now in the departmental store, you can see departmental store application has been separated into different discrete functionalities. Yes. Harsh, now you can understand. If you say no, I don't accept. Reason, you are aware this departmental store how generally software works. Okay. When you go to a departmental store, sometimes you get a discount, sometimes you may not get the discount. Based on the criteria only, this discount calculation can be called, right? Can I know from all of you? So main module can call whenever it is needed this type of functionality. Main module only will call whenever this type of functionality is required. So finally, when it requires a print module, that calls the print related. When it requires a discount module or customer data, it takes. Point taken, all of you. All operations will take place in between begin and end of the module. So main objective is bill process. All of you, Shweta and Harsh, you should respond now. Make it fast. Don't delay it. Type a message, because you said a message that's not clear. Now you should give a message that it is clear. Harsh, you also should respond. Fine, Shweta, thank you. Yes, Harsh, very good. Everyone. Mayank. Mayank, you are a student of which course?
GNIT.
No, that is fine. So you are attending PLSQL classes or not?
Sir, today is my first class, so it's a PLSQL class.
No, my question is today the first class to you?
Sir, yeah, today is my first class.
Okay. So before, what classes you attended with me?
What, sir?
Did you attend any class in my batch anywhere?
No.
Okay, this is the PLSQL program, but it is middle of the course. Okay.
Sir, which chapter are you in?
One book is completed.
First book is completed.
One book is completed. 9 chapters have completed.
Okay, sir.
I hope there is another PLSQL batch. You are supposed to join to that batch, I hope. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Not this batch. You please log off Mayank.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Any other new student is there? Any student join today? Okay. Any new student? No? Good. Fine. Fine. So we need to discuss about some other things here. Modularity in PLSQL blocks. PLSQL blocks, anonymous blocks. You can see PLSQL is a block structured language. So we identified in the beginning. One is anonymous block, one is a procedural block, one is a, what is that? Function block. And we can go for some other categories in the future, that is like packages also. And we'll discuss about the triggers, and some 2 or 3 theory topics also will be there in our course. That is the last chapter, 2 chapters. So these are the different anonymous block. What is the specification of anonymous block? Can anyone respond to this? In case of anonymous block, how do you write it? How you represent anonymous block? Can I know from all of you? I know that you are not doing. One is the preparation, second one is the practical. All of you? Where is the answer? No one is responding. What is anonymous block is my question. Can I write to your sentence that no one has answered for anonymous block? No problem, Chauhan. See, you are saying you did not understand, but when I am explaining, when I am asking, you too should answer that, right? Learning is main objective, not teaching continuously to make it clear to you, right? If you don't read the previous sessions, it would be conflicted with the next coming sessions, right? Anonymous block where you don't mention procedure or a function. You will write only declare and you will write the program. So begin and end only the representation. Procedure and functions are the named blocks. So packages and triggers. So what is the major advantage? So if you consider the modularity advantage is easy maintenance, data security and integrity, performance improved, and code clarity. So if you take the example of whatever I have designed here, so if the discount rate is changed, we will modify only discount module. You don't modify the entire program. If tax rate is changed, if the government is changing the tax rate, you will modify only the text module, right? So in case if the customer data is supposed to be inserted, you will insert customer data in the customer module. The entire application never gets disturbed with those operations. Taken point, all of you? So those are all advantage with the modularity. Yes, Shyam, I hope you understood well. Others, I hope you are clear, right? So some of the previous session concepts have been covered in this, and we are moving forward to have more discussion on this. Okay. Working with procedure, creating and calling a procedure, identifying available parameter passing modes, formal and actual parameters, positional name and mixed notation. A lot of things are there as part of this. Because why I read all the things is one after one we will discuss everything elaborately. So creating and calling a procedure is the first objective. So we are aware that what the role of the procedure. Procedure would exist in the database as a separate object. Okay. So the procedure, once if you create and if you store in the database, it would exist in the database as a permanent object, and there would be no need to recreate every time. It allows you to use this block of code every time as this is the procedure block. Okay. So for this, I want to take you all the way how you can work with the procedure. Fine. So I am taking all to the example of working with the procedure. Then we will move forward in other things. So before working out in this, we should understand the naming conventions used in this program. In the course, variable should start with a convention as variable is with the keyword v. Constant will start with the keyword v. C. Subprogram is a parameter name. Binding variables bind name. B. Cursor is with CUR. Record with P with a record. Type name as type. Exception is with E. File handling is with F. So these are all the conventions have been followed in the courseware. Okay. Are you all clear? Yes, Akshay, Borgoi Center, and Matukumaran, like Shyam. Okay. So while you are using the procedure, there are certain concepts of the procedure usage. So those are called as parameters. I will share that example of what are the parameters. Fine. So that easily we can move forward for understanding the role of the parameters also. So step by step, one after one, we will go for the concept of practically understanding parameters. Fine. Any questions? If you have any point to share, you can share, please. Give me 1 minute. I'm sharing the screen. Who sent a message? Could you please share the message once again? Who sent a message? 1 minute. Yes, please. Yes, Shayan. Module blocks means using multiple blocks in one application. Yes. Module blocks is in the sense making your application to divide into number of subparts. So that approach is called as modularity in programming. Okay. Fine. Okay. So parameters mode. Parameter is in the sense you want to pass a parameter to the procedure. What is a parameter and why do we need to pass a parameter to the procedure? When you create a procedure, the procedure takes an argument. The argument is called as a parameter. So why do we need to pass a argument? Because when you call the procedure, and you create and call the procedure will work as you define. But when you want to pass different values to the where class or to pass different values into the argument parameter, then the procedure will work dynamically based on your input. So that is actually passing a data or communicating data between the calling environment and the subprogram. So application calls a procedure by passing some data. Procedure sends some data back to the application. So you are going to establish the communication between procedure and an application. So that is the main objective of the procedure parameters. Can I know from all of you? All of you please respond. That is one concept and we will move forward. So are used like local variables but are dependent on their parameter passing mode. What is parameter passing mode? We have three modes: in, out, and out mode. So these three modes we need to understand about the procedure calling. In mode, out mode, in and out mode. Fine. So in mode is the default, provides a value for a subprogram to process. So at the time of calling, you can use this to call a procedure. Out mode to return value to the caller, passing and returning. In and out mode supplies input value, which may be written as output also as a modified value. So two different ways you can use this in out and in out mode. Both the ways we can use it. Fine. Any questions, all of you? I will take you all for a small example to explain. Then we will move forward. Fine. So once if you look into the small example, then easily you can analyze it. See, I want to share this concept here to you all. I did not understand the parameter. I'm going to explain here. Wait for a while. So what is not clear, I will make it simple. See, procedure is a predefined function. Like I'm using today. Is it taking any function, any parameter? No, it is just displaying current date. Equal to now. It is displaying date and time. But when I'm using equal to power, okay, when I'm using equal to power, so that is taking 2 to the power of 5 as a parameter. So now you tell me what is parameter is here? 32. It is calculated and given the result back to us. Point taken? So that is the way when you pass a value, that is called as a parameter, right? That we shall apply for your PLSQL code block. Any questions now? Please respond. All of you. Any questions? Still did not understand. One minute. Still did not understand. Shayan, the concept is like I explained a small general example here. This is the one as a procedure you called using now function. This is the one you called today as the function to display current date. But here this is the one you pass the value 2, 5. 2 to the power of 5 has been written as a value of the power 2 to the power of 5. So values which you supply to this function or a procedure is called as a parameter. Taken point? All of you? What is parameter I explained? I did not explain related to anything. What is parameter? Only I explained. Second point, Shyam, you can respond to this now. If you have a confusion, you can say. It is not a very big concept. I explained very few general things so that I hope you can understand it, right? Any questions, all of you? Understood. Very good. So now here I have used a procedure for entire process. Then it has displayed a result of something. Okay. Now I want to show this result of this procedure, how it has been created. As a like a textbook example, so that easily you can analyze this. Okay. You look into this, whatever I have created in this. You declared 3 variables, A number data type, B number data type, C number data type. Procedure name is find minimum. You may pass any value to the procedure, but procedure has to find what is the minimum value, right? Procedure has to find what is the minimum value. So X in type, taking a value to the variable. Y is in type, taking a value to the variable. Z is out type, it has to display a value back. In and out, passing and getting back. So I will tell one thing to you. Take a value from me, 10, 20. 10 is A in type, take it. B is 15 as in type, take. So A and B you have taken 10 and 15. Give me the result Z, the out type. You are giving the value back to me. Can I know from all of you? So A, B, C calculation, C is the result you are giving back to me. So I am using you all as a procedure. I am calling you to do an activity of addition. Same manner here, the procedure name is find minimum. So if I make it bigger, you can see the complete code blocks here. Okay. So find minimum is my procedure name. It has to find out of all the numbers, whatever you supply, it has to find what is the minimum value. To find the minimum value out of many, it has to take many, right? So I'm going to pass 2 and it has to display 1, which is the minimum one, right? So passing values inside the procedure is with in keyword, in parameter. Point taken. What is the role of in parameter? Default one provides value for a subprogram to process. What is subprogram here? Fine. Now I understood much properly. Very good, Shyam. So you are passing these two, X and Y. And what is actually the minimum out of these two should be displayed with Z. So if X less than Y, then Z equal to X, else Z equal to Y. So conditionally you have written a statement. Taking values, suppose I am supplying a value here as 10, 12 and 10. So the comparison is X less than Y? No. So else z equal to y. What is z equal to y? The comparison that 12 will be the high, 10 is the minimum. So x is less than y. No. So then y is minimum 1. So here 10 is the minimum value. So such a way the comparison it has to do. So this is the one block. I am combining the another block of the execution here within the same program. Begin a equal to 23, b equal to 45. So a value is 23, b value is 45. Now in this program I am calling the method. Okay. Now where is my procedure? Where is my calling block? The calling block here is a23, b45 and abc we are passing here. So what the purpose of a c here we declared? C is to get the value back. Okay. C is the value to get it back because you have created the value whatever comes from the z that would be hold with the C. Point taken. So this is the minimum of 23 and 45 you have written like this. That is the result of if I write minimum value is, I want to change it completely. Minimum value is. So if you write it minimum value is, then whatever you are passing 23 and 45, it displays minimum value as 23. So now you can see the statement. So I copy it, then I am executing here. Minimum value is 23 displayed. Fine. All of you please respond. I hope you all have understood this. Very much clear. Shweta responded, Sunny responded, everyone have responded. Okay. So there is an arrow here. You please observe that. Calling environment is passing a value using in. That is the default one. So arrow is representing towards right. So that you please observe here. I want to mention this point to you very clearly. So it is arrow towards right. So PLSQL procedure will be called by passing a value. Out is what it is giving back to you. In and out is what both the sides. So takes a value and returns the value. So in and out is one more category of the parameter. Fine. All of you, I hope it's clear to you all. Make it fast. Clear. Shauhad, yes. Jayanagar Center, very good. But my sincere request is to you all to prepare. Okay. If you don't prepare the course, then the courseware, if you don't do additional activities which are given in the courseware, it won't give the expected result to you all. The only solution for gaining knowledge is well preparation, right? So if you are understanding whatever I teach, that would be fine. But if you don't prepare well, it would be a trouble. Can I know from all of you? Can you do it? Yes, please. Yes. Doing. Akshay, very good. See, as a teacher, as a mentor, every time I alert you all. So if you are doing, I appreciate you all. Those who are not doing, please do it. Okay? Right. I want to share an example here. So I want to find the square of a number. Whatever I pass, I will get with the same value, out. Declare a number. A is the variable name, number is the data type. Procedure name is square of a number. X is the variable, in-out number. In-out is the parameter and data type is number. In begin, the body of the procedure is x equal to x into x. If you pass 10, 10 equal to 10 into 10. Okay? Fine. If you pass the value 10, the value of 10 is here of a number. So that's the way I have written. So you are passing a value 23. So instead of that, I want to pass a value 10. Square of a number is the procedure name. This a variable value we are passing into the procedure. This value taking as in parameter, and the same value is returning as the out parameter. So when you are going to call the method or a procedure, when it is returning a value back to us, we display the value as the square of that particular number. So I am executing. Square of a number is 100. That you can see here. Any questions, please? Any questions? So someone mentioned that minus a click, is it that no question or any other things are there? All of you from all locations, Verma, Akriti, Shruti from Ghatkopar Center, click on hand raise. You please mention clear or not. You both should click on hand raise. Type so far everything is clear to you. Understood? Yes, clear. Thank you. All from Borveri Center, Yash Devendra, Sunny, Tavaldarshan, Sugyani, Kaushal, Simran, Chauhan, Mahendra, Akshay Mahendra, Akshay, Kunal, Rajesh. Yes, Shian. In and out takes a value and displays the value. All the students of Borvali, I mentioned your names with the intention to get a feedback from all of you. So it's your responsibility. Please type still clear or not. And the web center who are there, Kamakshi Shweta, anyhow regularly you are responding. So I'm sharing a question. All can respond to this question. If anyone is not clear, then I can discuss with you. Because you are not clicking on hand raise, not typing anything. So survey I will conduct. Tarun Chauhan, Vaibhav, you both can respond, Rajnagar and ODLS. Yes, Shayan. No, Shayan, I did not plan it. But soon we may need it, okay? I may take up, based on the requirements, I may take up the session. So Friday, in case of any reason, if it is needed, I will conduct an extra class for our batch, okay? Now, actually, in this week, I am not planning for any additional session, okay? So soon I will plan it for our batch extra sessions. That time I request you all to join for 1 or 2 extra classes. If it is needed, I will conduct. Okay. Please. Sharing a small example to you. So as per the textbook, I request you all to find this example. Using this procedure, you are increasing the salary of the employee. Okay. In this example, using the procedure, you are incrementing the salary of an employee. Create or replace a procedure is the statement first we created. Raise salary is the procedure name. So we are creating a variable, the employee ID is employee still employee ID type. So type attribute we are using to take the data type. Percentage we are using in number because we want to increment the employee salary, some percentage. So is begin. So when you use it, the is begin, update employees table, set salary equal to salary into 1 plus P percentage. So P percentage actually currently we did not mention anything by 100. Okay, 1 plus P percentage. Find some amount of the percentage. That 1% of the percentage we are multiplying with salary. So for a particular employee, who is the employee? P ID, whatever the ID you pass. So when you are calling that raise salary procedure, if you pass 176, then this particular employee salary will be incremented. Point taken. This particular employee salary will be incremented. All of you, please respond. I hope you are all clear this. So 176 is the value. I am selecting whatever I want to explain in a blue color. So this is the PID you are passing at the time of calling. So 10 you are passing as the value to the procedure, as that is the 10% you are passing. So the 10% when you pass, that will be multiplied. Fine? All of you? Any questions? All of you, is it clear? So 10% is the value of the P% variable and the employee ID is 176. Yes, very clear. Good. Out parameter mode. In and out. Textbook example. I have shown few general simple examples before explaining the textbook example. Yes. So when you go for the output parameters here, the out parameter is to return a value back to the calling module. So in these two, one is the procedure body, one is the calling body. So now I want to mention here caller. This is caller. This is the procedure. Caller and procedure. Procedure taking 3 parameters here. One is the ID of the employee here. The data type of the ID is employee table employee ID type. The last step of the employee as the E name, that is person name, is the last name data type. That is actually you want to get an employee name back. So last name data type. Salary also you want to get it back. That is the out parameter type employee salary. Right? 3 different variables we are passing as a parameter to the procedure. One is ID of the person as in parameter and name of the person as out parameter. and salary of the person as out parameter. So out parameter, when you pass the procedure, that would send it back to the caller environment. So begin and end. If you look at the statements which has been defined in the begin and end, last name salary into the variable p name, you are taking the value into the p name variable. So the variable is already declared in the declarative block. And you are taking the salary into p salary variable which you have declared in the declarative block. From employees table where employee ID is PID. If you supply employee ID, that employee ID will be taken as a parameter here. Point taken. So what is my procedure name? My procedure name is query employee. My procedure name is query employee. So my caller environment. The caller environment we call the procedure. Fine. How a caller will call it. If you look into this procedure calling system, when you want to get a value back, out parameter is not in and out, only out. So you have to have the place to hold the value which have been written by the procedure. So procedure returns the value back to the caller. So this procedure is sending a value back to the caller with out parameter. When p name has been sent back, this p name has to be stored in employee name variable. When salary sent, that has to be stored in salary variable. So you please observe both the variables I mentioned here. So one is this variable and one is this variable to hold the value when it has been returned. Both are out parameters only. Okay. Now query EMP is my procedure. This procedure we are calling. You look into the procedure. At the time of calling, it is taking the employee ID. So that is the ID type here that we are passing to here. Okay. So employee name, employee salary. Why employee name and salary? Because those are out parameters you will get into these variables. Then you are displaying it. Can I know from all of you? Using char function, you are converting into a value of the specification of the digits. Any questions? All of you please respond. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Anyone can ask me any question. So some are actively participating, some are not responding. That doesn't mean that you are not understanding. You are understanding. But my question is, if you have any confusion, you can ask me. Because some are not responding, that doesn't mean that they are not understanding. Okay. Yes, Sunny. I have taken that parameter, but my question is, in case if one or two members, sometimes they may not respond, but I request you to respond to that. Okay. Any more questions? So how do you see that the messages using server output? Again, here also they provided the information how to display the data of the server output. So some of the general things which are already been discussed in the previous sessions that I am not covering in this session, so that you all can read well from the courseware. Reason which we have already discussed in some of the things in the previous sessions, for that I am not spending much time. Can I know from all of you understood what I am doing? Right? So server output on. So dbms underscore output dot putLane procedure, that is well known thing to us when you are going to display any value. out parameter you can see using this parameter. Available notations for passing actual parameters. Available notations in the sense like when you are calling a subprogram, you can write the actual parameters using the following notations: positional, named, and mixed. So positional is that is the actual parameters in the same order as the formal parameter, because caller and calling procedure, both the things should be in the same order of the data type. Named is that so you can pass in any arbitrary order. Association operator we should use like equal, greater than. Okay, that is the like operator we can use for calling that. We will discuss practically about that, but some concepts here we are discussing. Mixed, some actual parameters as positional and some as named. These are the different ways of the parameter passing mechanism we have in procedures: positional, named, and mixed. But prior to Oracle 11G, only the positional notation is supported in calls from SQL. Prior to 11G. Now in 11G, we have named and mixed also. So starting in Oracle 11G, named and mixed notations can be used for specifying arguments in calls to PLSQL subroutines from SQL statements. Subroutine is nothing but your function or your procedure. Okay. All of you, can I know from all of you, please? Fine. So what is actual and what is positional, what is named and what is mixed, we will come to know. So we are seeing one after one actually what the way you should understand, right? Actual parameters. Add department procedure it is. Create or replace a procedure, add department. Procedure name, ename. Procedure name is add department. Variable is ename, is a department data type. Department name, that is a type. Like a department location, that location ID type. Insert into department. Department ID, department name, location ID. Values are what we are going to pass using the sequence of next val. P name and P location, what are the variables you are returning, those are you are passing here. Okay. That is the point. So when you are executing it, this is the way you can execute. I will show that example to you so that easily you can understand. Fine. 1 minute please. I'm sharing the screen. Create or replace procedure, add department. Department table, department name data type taken for the variable, and department location data type taken for the location ID. So using this, you are going to insert the data into department, because you are going to create a different department ID for inserting the department data. The department data you are supposed to supply at the time when you call the procedure. That is the objective here. So when you pass the department value at the time of executing a procedure, procedure name is add department. What the procedure should do, it has to insert the values what you supplied into the department table. Based on the department ID you are going to create, because department ID you are going to create as the value of the next sequence. And the name of the department is the one we are passing as the name, whatever will be supplied to the add department procedure. And location, whatever the location value will be supplied, that will be added into the location. So before working out in this, we shall see department table data first. So there are many departments. If you look into the records, number of records here, so total number of records are 36. Okay, 36 records are there. The department number is also 27270 is the last one. Okay. When I go back, when I look into this screen content, so there are different numbers. We have already inserted training also, because number of times different values have been inserted in this table. So you will find different values. But total number of records I am sharing here. Total number of records are 36. Only 36. Now we shall work out on this procedure. So add department is my procedure, taking two parameters. The parameter 1 is the department name, parameter 2 is the location ID. And whatever you supply, that should be inserted into the department table. How these will be inserted? In the department table, these three are the columns. Department ID is the next value of the sequence. And name, what you supply to the procedure, that will be inserted. Location, what you supply to the procedure, that will be inserted. And procedure is being ended. Okay? Now of you. Procedure created. So I executed the procedure got created in your Oracle database. Any questions? Once if you create a procedure, then you can call it. So then you can execute the procedure. So execute, or without execution you can write it. My procedure name is add department. So there I want to pass anything. Is the name, corporate ethics is the name of the department. Okay, corporate ethics. Location ID I want to pass as 2500. So sequence should be created automatically, because the sequence next well, what are the numbers supposed to be created, that only should be added here. So I am executing it. Procedure completed successfully. Now when you check in the department table, so many departments are there. In the sequence order, we shall see what are the value we inserted. Okay. That is 7 rows, but actually I missed it somewhere without reading. I have moved forward. Corporate ethics. You can see that is the number, sequence number 360 was generated. Earlier, those number of records were 36. Now the number of records have increased. Okay. Any questions? All of you please respond. Is it clear to you all? So this is the actual parameter. Now we shall see using a different approach of the named parameters with the combination. Okay, that what is the combination here? The named parameter as the actual parameter, and association operator we can use to associate the named formal parameter with its actual parameter. It doesn't confuse you. When I explain this, easily you can understand. Okay. When you use the default option for the parameter, define default values for parameter. So you can see create a resource procedure at department. You are adding a default value as unknown here. The previous example and this example is same, but you mentioned it as unknown. So value is unknown, is not a keyword. The department name, data type as taken, but value is defaultly initialized as unknown. and location also taken. Default you mentioned as 1700. Now you are inserting this data. So what you can see, there are three different ways given answers in the next of this block. Execute at department. One is unknown and one is default value. Execute at department. Instead of unknown, you can pass it to advertisement, and using this, the default value you are changing. Instead of 1700, you are changing as 1200. So that is the one we had a discussion, and we are not passing anything, unknown and 1200. Okay. The third one is unknown and 1200. Expecting response from all of you. Three different ways the execution here. One is the actual parameter. At department, when you call it, unknown will be taken, default also will be taken. Okay. Second calling, first execution is unknown and default. Second execution is instead of unknown advertising, and instead of 1700, 1200 will be taken. That is the second execution. Right. Third execution is unknown is the department will be taken, but 1200 is the value taken instead of default. Right. Provides flexibility by combining the positional and the named parameter passing syntax. So that's the reason I mentioned it is an advanced PLSQL procedure. All of you, please respond if you are clear with this. Yes. Okay. Right. Handling exceptions in procedure. Removing a procedure and displaying the procedure information. So using dictionary tables, how you can display the information about the procedure. Exception handling was the 8th chapter in the previous level that we are going to define in your procedure, because the errors may encounter in the procedure, but where you want to define at the time of calling, there are certain situations, the calling procedure and call the procedure, two different blocks. Okay. Innocently, a calling procedure may call a procedure by passing a value. So this argument will be sent to the procedure body. Okay. When the procedure is taken that value, it may find some exceptions raised in the procedure body. So when a procedure has encountered some exceptions, if those exceptions are being sent directly to the calling environment or to the calling procedure, it never runs as you expected, right? So how you will handle the exceptions in the procedure body is the one. Okay, very simple thing. Point taken. So now you can see handling exceptions. In this, add department is the name of the procedure. Yes, Shreya. Add department is name of the procedure. Okay. In this procedure, we have three different variables: name, varchar data type 2, manager is the value, and location is the number. So three different variables. So when you call the procedure add department, you may pass a value to the procedure. When you pass the value, so like here media is the value you can pass, 100 you can pass as a number, 1800 you can pass as a location number. So three values. Those values should be inserted into the department table. In department table, department ID is the variable, department name is the column, manager ID is the column, and location ID is the column. 4. Okay. Department ID, department name, manager ID, location ID. Department ID we are taking as a sequence number, so there will be no question of passing parameter. Name, manager, location you should pass. So these 3. Fine. Create procedure, procedure name, add department media, add department editing, add department advertising. When you pass it, what your other things you are passing? Manager number you are passing. 100. Manager number you are passing as well. 101. And 99 and 1800 you are passing. These 99 and 1800, if those are not there in the table, then that would lead to an error. Okay. Then that would lead to an error. So now I am taking you all to the example how this can be executed, evaluated in the process. So the same example I am going to share to you all. Now I request you all to look into the screen. Is the screen shared to you all? Fine. At the time when you are doing the practical, you please check in this way any situation when it's required. Okay. So what is that actually in the department? You should check the manager ID 100 is existing or not, 99 existing or not, and location ID 1800 anyhow is existing. So I want to check in the department table. Select start from department. So I executed once again. I executed. Where manager ID equal to 100. So when you execute it, manager ID 100, 2 members are there. Okay. Manager ID 100, 2 members are there. One is media and one is executive. Okay. And where manager ID 99 also I want to check. Where manager ID 99. So no rows selected. So there is no record in this. So that is the reason when you pass 99, it leads to an error. And at the same time, I will check 101 value also. So 101 is also there, advertising. Right? So here, when you call with 100, this can be inserted. When you call with 99, it cannot be inserted because it checks in the manager's table, data value 99 not existing. And when you check with this advertising 101, it would be created. So, how you are handling the exception? So, when you are inserting that, in case of any exception generated, if department added, then it shows the department name. When exception comes, error adding department, whatever the department you are trying to add. So, exception block is there in the procedure body. When exception comes, if you enter any other value other than the given values here, if the value is conflicted with the table data, then it displays this message. So I am going to create this procedure as part of this requirement. So procedure is already existing. Name already used in the existing procedure. So might be in other program, other classes I might have created. So I changed it to department 1. So when you are calling this, you can use this department 1, department 1, department 1 because I changed the name of the procedure as department 1. I am copying the code. Add department, add department. So I executed. Name is already used. This is also already used. So I changed it. So procedure created. Okay. The procedure got created. Second procedure to add the values. Point taken. In case of any conflict, it shows the data. If there is no conflict, the error will be generated. Yes, Shyam. When exception not handled, in case of exception is not handled, control return to the exception section of the calling procedure. So then it would lead to an error. Previously, if the exception block is not there, then if you are passing different values, then exception not handled example you can see. If that is not being taken, if any value whatever you are passing, so then entire thing will be returned back. All will be failed in this process. Okay? All of you, please respond. Yes, Shayan. Fine. When you are working with the PLSQL procedure, sometimes you may want to see what are the procedure you created. That is nothing but the procedure body. Okay. So the procedure, entire procedure body is available in a dictionary table called user source. The table name is user underscore source. This user underscore source table you can use to retrieve the information about a particular procedure. So here select text from user source. So I want to share that example to you all. Right? I'm sharing the screen to you. This is the example user underscore source. There is a column called text column. Fine. Text column is there. Describe allows you to see the structure of the table, but I am showing the complete structure with data values too. Now, in case of trigger, in case of a procedure, in case of a function, it shows everything whatever is there in the procedure. Procedure body it shows, function it shows, trigger it shows. So everything will be shown in this particular table. So our requirement is we want to see the text. Select star from user source. So I want to use the text is the column. So select star from user source. Only the text has been written. So I want to write as a where class where name of the text equal to. So you want to mention what that add underscore department. Fine. So add underscore department, the procedure name. Whatever you created, the procedure has been executed. So the text of the procedure you can retrieve from user underscore source table. There, whatever the procedure you earlier you created, the procedure you can pass it as an argument. Fine. So you can display it. Any questions? Fine. So practice 1 of the advanced PLSQL. Overview: creating, compiling, and calling procedure, in and out parameters, in parameter, out parameters, in and out parameters. Fine. Exception handling in procedure body, compiling and invoking the procedures. These are all we had a discussion in this session. So I want to take up a complete cloud consultation for our batch. Cloud consultation. But I request you all to join a little bit early for the session time. I will upload everything tonight, Akshay. Akshay upload everything tonight or maximum morning. So you will find every example of every topic with all activities or discussion board also, everything. Okay. Yes, Akshay. Cloud consultation on PLSQL. How schedule of Friday, you all will have mark. At 2 p.m. So, can you all join on Friday for cloud consultation? So you can join from home. I will provide a link into our group. It's an internet-based link. You can click. Those who are IS, we are having batch. Oh. Okay. Yes, you have college. So I will plan it. I can understand you are all going to college in the morning time. Doubt clarification. You can ask doubt clarification. Some topics, additional topics I will explain. I will clarify your confusion in any particular topic. So these are all additional sessions, like private class to you all. Okay. Data. I will do one thing. Next week I will plan it to schedule it. So for whom it is possible, they can join on Friday at 2 p.m. So just only the thing you need to do, you just click on the link whatever I provide, then you will be connected to the class. Okay. And I will upload all examples into our group. You can access from our group. Any other things to discuss with me? Any point to share? Thursday. Tomorrow I have other schedules. Can I make it on Thursday? Tomorrow? Is it fine to you all? At least for tomorrow? 2 p.m. Sunny? 2 p.m. tomorrow. See, for whom it is possible, they can join. For whom it is not possible, they can join in a different time slot in the next time. Okay? Fine? This is all about our today's session. No. This week there is no additional class I planned. Okay? So heard? No additional class this week. No class on Friday. Fine? Thank you all. Good day to you. And participate in feedback. Then you all can leave for today. Thank you. Have a nice day and a good night. Manoj?